When I close my eyes while pranayam or mantra jap, the printed scripts appear in front of eyes. The script seems Devanagari Lipi. Please guide, what does it mean? It's okay to have this kind of script coming in front of your mind screen, and there is no reason that you should feel odd that why it is coming. The best thing can be that when that written Devanagari script, mantra, or that particular word comes in front of your eyes, it's okay. Rather, you focus onto that alphabet which is right there in front of you. And then keep on doing your mantra the way you wish to do it, and meaning the rhythm or the space in between one mantra and the second mantra, that is the choice which one can make. For some, the mind can be little jittery, so they cannot do it in a more elongated pauses. But if your mind is well settled, and if your mind is calm and is enjoying and is in that moment when you are doing the mantra, and say, if I say Om, there is a one way of dharana, and that is where you actually bring that written Om in at the screen of your forehead, and you visualize that Om, Namah, so Namaha, Hala, and Shivaya. So you see the Sha, E and Va, A, and Ya, Shivaya. So actually in one of the stages of doing the mantra jap, this is the advised method sometimes for certain people, that they visualize that mantra first while they are doing the chanting, and then they allow the synchronicity of mantra, the visualization, and I'll add another magic portion into this equation, and that is of your breath. If you can bring a synchronization in between your breath, your mantra in mind, and also the visualization in the forehead, this becomes a very pregnant mantra jap. What I mean is that the breath is now holding the mantra into it, and the mind is holding the breath and mantra into it. And now this mind is now no more a fickle, shallow mind. Now it is a very pregnated mind. Meaning, mantra is infused in the breath, and mantra and breath are with the mind. So, this is a very good way to do it. No need to be doubtful about what it is and why it is. Question is from Praveen Rawat from Roorkee, Uttarakhand. Is Onkar Gunjan and Brahmari Pranayam with Om chanting the same or it's different? Please guide. Now it depends that it is actually very different. Either you are doing Omkar, that there you are reciting the word Om fully, but in a Brahmari you are just creating the sound of a Brahmar. Brahmar in English would be the bumblebee. Now maybe go to a garden in springtime and then look for those bumblebees and listen to their sounds. So it's a very throaty bumblebee sound which you are creating in your throat while narrowing down your vocal cords, and it's very deep and very reverberating sound. Now there are people, there have been some yogis who say that this Brahmar sound should begin from the low, go to the high pitch, and then again you take the breath in, you begin from the low and you take it to the high pitch. And so the sound has to be very vividly similar of the bumblebee, the bhamara. And in the Omkar Gunjan, there is no need to have this very deep throated voice. It can be a very simple one, and where we are just using the our upper part of just the mouth alone. We are not using very much the deep sounds where your vocal cords, your voice box, and your diaphragm and everything gets involved, because you have to create, and it should create a very strong vibration sensation even in your chest. And if it is not happening, then it's not Brahmari. So I think so, Praveen, it would be good that maybe you come here to ashram, because it is something which I need to see you in person, and then you have to listen to that sound properly, and then simulate that same sound again. There are many things which cannot be passed on a very social platform. There are certain things for which one needs to be with the Guru to learn and to practice. Question is coming from Arzu Sharma. There are many methods of sitting, like Urja, Tratak, Nadi, and breath count. I am totally new to this. I want to know, as a beginner, where should I start? I wake up and do 30 minutes of yoga. Then I sit in a silent room, concentrate on my breath. I inhale till the count of 3 and exhale to count of 6. Please guide me what to do. I wish to feel the inner peace and beauty. Well, all these methods which you have mentioned, I have taught these methods to sadhak, to the practitioners who wish to move onto the path. Now, it depends upon what's the real need of that sadhak. Again, dear Arzu, you'll have to make an Arzu to meet me in person. You have to come here, or you meet some of my swamis over here who can have one-on-one, and seeing the condition of your mind, seeing the condition of your health, they can advise you from where to begin. But for now, I think so, until you do this, you can do the Nadi Shodhan and you can do the Tratak. For Tratak, my advice is that the room in which you are doing should be totally dark. There should be only the candlelight. Nothing else, should be visible. 2, the candlelight flame should be kept at eye level. Don't keep it too low, don't keep it too high. Place the candle that its flame is exactly at your eye level. 3, always use the guided track which I have made, as the music will help to create a kind of a sound curtain around your mind, so that the mind doesn't do the monkey dance and you can focus properly and do the sadhana properly. So do Nadi Shodhan. Again, you can take help of the track which I have made it for your assistance, and anybody who wishes to start, who is a beginner, who is a naive, who is an amateur, for them I have made things easier, that you learn it right from the track and you use the track while sitting. Don't sit without that track playing along. Like a child requires some kind of a prop, a stroller, in which the child can be seated, and once in a while the child walks, gets tired, sits back in the stroller again. The walker would be the right word. So the child walker. So these instruction meditational music tracks are like those child walkers. So use those tracks, and that will help you, and I'll be instructing. And if you have enough love, then you might feel that I'm right there. And if this happens, you will have a very, very great and good experience, because end of the day, it's all the mind game. It's a mind game. Dattatreya Parankar from Akola, Maharashtra has a question. I am a meditator. I request you to please guide me in my following problem. When I try to go in meditation, naturally breathing pattern changes from normal to slow, this causes left chest pain. Please see an Ayurveda Acharya if any kind of pain is occurring when you are doing the slow breathing or the slow breathing is happening, because pranayam cannot induce any pain. On the contrary, we have experimented here in ashram that if somebody is having a anxiety or hyperventilated breathing because of their anxiety, they were made to do the deep, deep breathing and their anxiety went away. Now, if the pain is physical, then the doctor should fix it up. I'll suggest find a good Ayurveda Acharya who can make a diagnosis after seeing your pulse, the nadi, and maybe take some medication if required. And I'm not saying that you have some very serious issue, but what I'm saying is that sometimes it can be your wrong diet, it can be there was gas in your stomach, it can be the flatulence, it can be an acid reflux. So there are many reasons if somebody is finding a pain in the chest. Not necessarily something to do with the heart every time. It can be just, as in Ayurveda we say, Vayu Vikruti, when happens in between Pran and Apan. When these two get Vikrat, then you can have very severe pain in chest or head or have any other, in the upper region. So please see a Vaidya. Whatever you are feeling has nothing to do with your slow breathing. And also Dattatreya, meditation is not something what you do, what you have written is, it's a little joke for me that I'm trying to do meditation. It's like somebody saying, I am trying to become Mahakavi Kalidas and I'm trying to become William Shakespeare. You don't become them by just trying. If you have it, you will be. If you don't, then you cannot. Similarly, in meditation, it's not something what you can learn. I've always said what I teach is the preparation. If you do the preparation properly, then the chances are that your mind will move into that state where there is quietness, where there is tranquility, where there is clarity, and where there is beautiful peace. So nobody in this world, even if they charge a big fees, cannot teach you meditation. All the pranayams or dharana or mudra or mantras are basically the preparations which can help your mind to move into that state where meditation happens. The flower blooms on its own. You cannot make a bud bloom by order or by advice or by praying to it. The bloom will happen when the bud has gone through the whole process of coming to that point where the bud blooms into a beautiful flower. So meditation is a blooming flower of your consciousness. Advaita philosophy is based on one Brahm. This question is coming from dear Sitaramulu. He's a wonderful old man. Okay, your question. Advaita philosophy is based on the one Brahm. If Jivatma is the soul of the astral world, and Ishvara is the soul of the causal world, then as in the waking world human bodies interact, Jivatmas must also be interacting and Ishvaras must also be interacting amongst themselves. Kindly highlight. Dear Sitaramulu, there is a lot of confusion in your mind. And I would suggest that, number one, there are these videos where I have explained these very intricate and very beautiful but very complex Advaita philosophy of Shankar. Two Prakarana Grantha of Shankar. One is the Vedanta Sar, second is Atmabodh. Pick any one and please listen to it very attentively, and especially in these two scriptures. In Vedanta Sar, I have in detail explained what Ishvara is. And Ishvara is not Brahm, I have to remind. Two, I have very well in detail explained what a Jiva is. With all the similes, with all the examples, with all the stories, and you have a very scientific aptitude, and I know you will love it. So I would just simply advise, please go to you can go in my app, that is the Amrit Varsha, and in that there is Vedanta. So over there you can listen all these things, or you just go to my YouTube channel, you will find all this. But one thing is for sure, that when I say Jiva and Ishvara, I'm definitely not saying that Jiva is the soul of the astral world, and two, I don't ever say that Ishvara is the soul of the causal world. What is causal? What is subtle? See, when we use the word astral in English, many people, they think astral is something like a great phenomenon, like, all the, in biblical understanding, like all the angels and all the devils are in this astral plane. And they believe, these Abrahamic religions believe, that all the jivas, well, they call them souls, S-O-U-L-S, not S-O-L-E-S. They call all the souls have come from this astral plane, have taken the physical form, will perform their good, bad things, and then die and go back to the astral plane. Then because of their actions, God might send them to heaven or to the hell. Now this is a very biblical idea. Vedanta doesn't endorse that at all. We don't endorse at all this kind of ideology where you will be judged at the last day, on the judgment day, and then you will be given these astral homes to either suffer in hell or to enjoy in the God's paradise, the heaven. In Vedantic philosophy, there are three we call satta. One is the gross form, second is the subtle form. Mind it, I am not using the word astral. The real word for it in Sanskrit is that, if I would like to take that word, and I would suggest that try to learn, more Sanskrit words. Because what is being said in Sanskrit is really very difficult to translate that into English. See, in Sanskrit, we have so many aksharas, beginning from a, I, u, au, ka, ga, ga, going on. When English has just 26 alphabets. So here we have 54, there are just 26. So that's the big difference in between the very body of that, language. So it's very, very difficult to appropriately give a word while doing the translation. So I would say the Sukshma Sharira, Sthula Sharira, and Karna Sharira. And Sukshma is not astral at all. The Sthul, Sukshma and Karan. So in this Sthul, Sukshma, Karan, there are these jivas, and there are not Ishwaras. There is only one single Ishwara. So there is not plural existences. For Jiva, there is a multiple, but for the Ishwara, it's just the one Ishwara only. And let me again remind, Ishvara is not Brahm. So to understand Advaita philosophy, please go, because this is the very basic body of Vedanta. You have to understand what is a Jiva, then you have to understand what is Ishvara. This is the beauty of Advaita Shastra, that it gives you the ability to understand in depth who the Ishvara is. Because we don't talk about belief. Believe. God created sound, and from sound the world got created. Believe. Who was there to witness this? Who said that this happened? And if there was somebody who witnessed this, then this means that person's body and mind was very much already created. Then what did God create? If there were eyes to see and mind to understand that God created the sound first, and from the sound the world came into the being, and one day your body will die, and then you'll go back to that God who will first judge you, and those two angels will judge you and will announce whether you are a sinner or a very pious person. Every religion has their own kind of God. Some religions' gods are very angry. Some are little less angry. They have anger issues. But it is the Advaita which even, I would say, do a postmortem or do an investigative research and allows us to understand and question, when you say Ishvara, then what do you mean by that? So we investigate that, who Ishvara is and who Jiva is and what Brahma is and what Atma is. So until and unless that basic terminology is not understood, you will not be able to understand what Advaita. Advaita means there is not existence of one supreme being, and then there are billions and billions and trillions of jivas. When we say Advaita, then it means non-duality. There is nobody who is other than that one existence. And over there, we don't call that existence as you or me. So if there is a you and a me, there's a duality. If I say there is only one God, even this doesn't establish the non-duality. Non-duality doesn't mean that God is one. Non-duality is something which is to be understood with a very settled, silent, meditative, quiet mind, and then with the razor-sharp edged shlokas and knowledge of Upanishad, we can then really go into the depth of it to understand the non-duality. Chitra from New Mumbai. In one of the sessions at ashram, Gurumaa, referring to sadhak, said that you say you are here now and your house is there and your family members are there. But Buddha says nobody is there. If you are there, then only they are there. If you are not there, then they are also not there. Can this be explained, please? Is it the same as a dream where one people and places involved in that particular scene exist? No. It's exactly not same. It's a very different thing. Buddha said that there is a non-existence of world. And what you call as I is also a non-existence. Meaning there is no I, there is no you, and whatever elemental world you are seeing is actually just a shunya. It's like in a kshana. Kshana can be called a 1,000th part of 1 second. So in that one kshana, 1,000th part of a second, the four elements intermingled and created a form for you. And they say in that one kshana, that world was there, and actually then in next kshana it was not there. So whatever you see is actually the forms getting formed in that one kshana, but actually there is just shunyata or the emptiness. And in that emptiness, the whole world and your sense of I am, I exist, whatever you think about yourself, all the adjectives which you have, all the degrees which you have for yourself, all the family relations, all the accessories which you have. I'm a poet, I'm a dancer, I'm a musician, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this and that. Whatever you think about yourself, this I too is actually a fluke. There is nothing called I. Hence, Buddhists do not believe in existence of Atma. And Buddhists do not believe in existence of Paramatma, or what you would call a God. And they say, what is it? They say it's just Shunya. And whatever is seen is a very transient things. Even your body isn't the same what it was a second ago, a minute ago, definitely then a day ago or a month ago or a year ago. So this is a continuous change which is occurring in the body, and that which is changing, so that change is a phenomenon which is going to always happen. And what is in the remainder? They say there is nothing in the remainder. Everything is just very lucid and very flowy and transient and changing. And when I said that if you think that you are here, then your house and family is also there. And if you think you are here, then they exist. And if you, this body, now in the Vedantic perspective, not the Buddhist perspective, in the Vedantic perspective, the body, the mind, the senses, the intellect, the consciousness is not me. So in a way, the body which you think is me is actually not you. So who are you? If not body, if not mind, if not intellect. So in a way now you are non-existent. And now if this is non-existent, then so are those people in the home, and so are those people in the offices and outside world and everywhere. We wish to understand what is world without understanding what is this body and what is this mind. So if with great knowledge and great understanding, if somebody comes to this conclusion with the great clarity and conviction, I am not this body, mind, intellect, I am not this ego, and I am what? Now, in speaking, if I use the words, I know you will parrot it, you can parrot it, and people have parroted it. But it's not about parroting that word. It's about exploring and knowing oneself that I am Sat, I am Chit, I am Ananda, I am a Vyapak. I am not the one who is just encaged and imprisoned in this physical body, but I am the one existence which is omnipotent and omniscient. And this omniscient existence is a non-dualistic existence. There isn't a God and you, and now God is angry with you, or you are separated from God. In that non-dualistic philosophy, which is not just a philosophy alone that is jamming of some words, but it is something which is an actual experience which one can have. So once somebody has understood this experientially, for them neither this body exists nor any other body anywhere. Deepika Bhandari from Noida. I started mantra anushtana last month. My mind wanders away several times. I try again and again. It doesn't stop. I'm struggling to go beyond. Please guide. How can I attain the state of dispassion and the samastiti to walk on the path? Dear Deepika, it's good that you have started the mantra anushthan. Now your problem is your own mind. Now, isn't it that it's your mind, so you should mind your mind? Why should I mind your mind? But anyhow, you have asked me, I'll give you some tips for that. Number one, if our mind is happy, our mind doesn't bother about anything, doesn't wanders anywhere. If our mind is not finding happiness, it will wander everywhere. So maybe when you are doing your Om Namah Shivaya, your mind is not getting any joy out of it. Because if your mind would had, people watch cricket 6 hours, they don't move. Test series, 3 days, they would just sit, eat at that same place, and would hold their urine for a long time. They wouldn't go to bathroom to relieve themselves because they don't want to miss the shot. Only when the cricketers would go for a break, drinks break, and one alcoholic said, "Oh, I would love to be a cricketer." I said, "Why?" Because they have drinks break. No, he doesn't know that's not a hard drink which they are drinking. Poor chaps are just drinking maybe some juice or water. And yes, and if they are going to drink carbonated drinks, their performance is surely going to go down. Why? Because the carbonated drinks have carbon dioxide in that. And to have good energy, you need oxygen. So actually they should have an oxygenated drink when they have, these drinks break coming to them. So coming back to the point. Something is not very good when you are doing this mantra. So first look, why are you doing it? And then look, where is your mind tied? If you are angry with somebody, if you are upset with somebody, if you are sad because of somebody, if you maybe don't have job or money or marriage or boyfriend or wife or children are not listening to you or parents are not well or they are sick or something. If something is bothering you, the mantra alone cannot give you that beautiful experience. Like you don't eat your food with dirty hands. You need to wash, especially in this COVID time. Wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands again and again and again. And then you eat. Now, say sometimes children, while playing, they fell down and their hand went into cow dung. And they begin to eat their food without washing their hands. What would they taste? Taste isn't going to be of roti dal sabji. It's going to be the taste of the cow dung. So the world is, excuse my words, like a cow dung. Cow is great, dung is not. Although dung is also of great usage, you can make a biofuel, you can run your kitchen. Even the animal waste is of great use. It's only humans who are useless. Only those who can, create garbage and pollution. Anyhow, you need to wash your hands before you eat your food. Similarly, you need to clean up your mind first. If you have some anger issues, if you have some sadness, what I've already mentioned, then you need to address that first. 2 ways. Either you wait until your all problems are solved, then do mantra jap. Oh, life will be gone. You will be dead by that time. The problems will be still there. What do we do? Second thing. Do we ignore? Or you cannot ignore. 3. What do we do? Now, maybe this tip is going to be of great benefit to you. And the tip is, things will change when they will have to change. I should not bother about it. Like COVID vaccine, don't know when it is going to come. Should we cry and be sad and miserable now because we don't have the vaccine? No. We just wait. We just wear a mask. We keep social distancing. We take steam every day. We drink some kashayam, the decoction of maybe tulsi, giloy, and keep safe. And wait. Similarly, we need to have that same approach until you are alive. Problems are always going to be there. But we need to learn to leave the problems like you leave your shoes outside before entering a temple. You don't take your shoes inside. Similarly, you don't take the worldly worries in the place where you are going to sit and do your mantra. You say, how to have this passion? The more you will listen about it and the more you will see the death is looming all the times on our heads. Me, you, too, everybody. Now, question is, are we ready to die? Are we ready to see dead bodies of our loved ones? Do we ever think? See, when people go to astrologers, they ask, when will I get married? When will I get job? Will anybody ask, when will I die? Nobody asks this question. And if somebody will ask this question, the astrologer will say, oh, you must be depressed. So wear this motika stone, pearl ring, and then your depression will go away. So out of your depression, somebody is going to make money out of that. But I think so death is something about which everybody should think. It isn't a subject which should make you very depressed. It's not. Well, everything gets formed and everything will expire one day. Same as this, our body is formed and will die one day. So what is there to be said about it? We think we are going to live eternally in this body and we think our loved ones will stay alive all the times. Well, that's not the case. Every day, I'm listening to people's story, reading the stories through emails coming to me. The person died, that person died, this person died, and the very normal question which arises, how? Why? Why did that person die? It can be many answers, medical reasons, accident, death, murder, Buddhist. The truth is, death comes without a reason. Reason is our way to justify it. Well, that happened, that's why this person died. This thing won't happen to me, so I won't die. Well, nothing might not happen, yet people die in their sleep. So, when death is imminent, then why would I have such deep-rooted bonds? Let everything be very playful. Play the game of life and all the relations. Knowing this, nothing is going to stay. The more you focus on this kind of contemplation, the more your mind will come out of this stupidity of doing the monkey dance. I always call it mind that does the monkey dance, Now here, now there, now here, now there. And end of the day, you are totally exhausted. You never lifted even a finger. You got your food from a delivery boy. And your maid did whole housework. And yet you are tired. Why? Because your mind has exhausted you. So learn the mechanisms of mind. I'll suggest there is one of my book. It's called Mind Undressed. Please get that book, or just go into Amrit Varsha app. You will have the book section. The book is there. Have a good read. Maybe these things will help you to understand the issues of your mind. Vidyut Guru Sharandas from Mumbai has a question. Many sadhaks I have heard could reach up to Agya or the 6th chakra through intense sadhana, but very few could reach Sasrara. Is a living Guru's presence or some touch needed for this, or some sadhaks to happen, as in the case of Ramakrishna Paramhans or Paramhans Yogananda? Their revered Guru's physical presence and touch help them to attain and experience such final state of supreme awareness. Shall feel truly blessed if our beloved Gurudev Ji enlighten us on this topic. Vidyut, I have never talked about chakras, so chakkar ke chakkar mein mat pado abhi. Until I explain this, please don't try to, because these days it's who is Guru? Google Acharya is the Guru. Who is the Guru? Google is the Guru. So people Google for everything. What is Muladhara Chakra? What is its form? What is the yantra? What is the mantra? Who is the deity? And then Manipura Chakra and Anahat Chakra and Agya, and that's the shape, that's the deity, that's the formation, that's the mantra, you do it. And now everybody is doing it. There are many new age teachers who are teaching the chakra awakening, and the best part is there's a chakra cleansing also. Oh, what a beautiful way. Get your chakras cleansed. How, with what detergent? They will do that. Or they will vacuum clean it, or they will dry clean it, or they will sun bathe the chakras, hang you upside down maybe? Or do what? Or give you some electric shocks at your chakra points, Manipurak is behind the navel, so maybe they'll put some 2 electrodes and give you some. I don't wish to make fun, but these are the things which are happening on the internet, and it's very interesting when people bring this kind of information to me. That's chakra cleansing, that's chakra awakening. Do these 2 things and your chakras will awaken. Don't do this thing, your chakra will never awaken. Cleanse your chakra if you want it to be awakened. 5 tips to awaken your Agya chakra. Millions of views. And people are going gaga and practicing whatever mumbo, shambo, jumbo is being given in the name of chakras. The chakras is something which is one subject which I haven't yet dealt, because classically speaking there is a preparation of body and mind which is done with the Hatha Yoga Kriyas. All the 6 Kriyas should be learned first. Should have mastered the Nadi Shodhan Pranayama at least 3 years, knows the basic asana and can sit in Padmasana without moving for 2.5 hours. Now, once you fulfill these 3 things, about the Shat Kriyas, again you need to learn it from a yogi or come to this ashram and you can learn it from here. Now, these days people want everything to come online. Some things can be done, some things cannot be done. So, dear Vidyut, please wait. And in the meantime, do the Nadi Shodhan Pranayama while sitting for 2.5 hours in Padmasana. And 3, be regular in purifying your body with the 6 Kriyas. Maybe in this COVID time, we might do some special Zoom class on how to do these Kriyas. Maybe some of the Kriyas can be taught, but some of the Kriyas cannot be taught. So until I do it, wait for it. Or keep on doing whatever you like to do. Question is, Maya being a very powerful energy of God and karmic effects only do justice, what to do when bad samskaras drag the jeev into flow of Maya like a storm? Can a Sadguru save the jeev from falling in the pit of Maya again and again? Poor Guru, what can a Guru do if Jiva is so ready to jump into the pit? I was reading this beautiful cranky joke, and somebody was comparing a love marriage and arranged marriage. Now that's not my view, please don't be angry on me. I just read it somewhere, sharing it with you. Like it, keep it, don't like it, throw it away. It said that if you are doing a love marriage, now for male, female, and for female it is the male. So I'm not biased gender-wise also. They say if you are getting a love marriage done, then it is like they made a beautiful, picture, and that's a cobra is there, and the person is in love, and person is saying a filmy song, come and kiss me, and something like that, and is going to the cobra. It can be bride or groom, whatever. And in another picture, it's arranged marriage. The cobra is still there, but the people are lifting that groom and taking to that. So again, it is going to be the same. Well, result is poisonous and deadly. That's not my opinion. Well, when you say Maya is made by God and this Maya is distracting us, so we are kind of blaming the God for creating Maya. Now, poor God cannot defend. So here I am, the humble servant of God, and I'll be the lawyer of God and give you this answer. A very blatant, rude answer maybe. And the answer is, God is not fooling you and the Maya is not distracting you. When we say Maya, then Maya means illusion, which has been created by the ignorance which is right in their mind. So it's not about who created it. It's like it is there and do something about it. I give you a small story. Now this question is bringing many stories. I give another story. Two friends were sitting under a huge tree and a snake fell right in front of them. One friend ran and never looked back. The other friend was the philosopher and he said, okay, is it a he or she? And this snake is poisonous or not? What was this snake doing up on the tree? Why did it fall? Is it some past karmic account it wants to settle with me? Or is it a new account this snake wants to settle with me? What is my relationship with this snake? Why did snake choose to fall down just now? What could be the astrological situation of my planets and the snake's planet that we are encountering one another? Will I die if it bites me? Or will I not die? So he started philosophizing. The thinkers are always philosophizing. The other friend who had run away, he yelled and called, oh, get up, run. He said, no, I need to get my answers first. So while he was thinking about all the possibilities about the snake bit him. It was a poisonous snake and the person died. End of the story. Well, what is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is this: don't philosophize when you are encountering a snake. Run first, save your life first, and then do all the hypotheses on the snake. Similarly, who made Maya? God made Maya. Why did God made Maya? Please don't go into these philosophizing questions. Just encounter this situation, what your mind is facing now in your life, and get a solution. A very practical answer to a very impractical question. Question is from Lily. I don't know from where, but Lily is asking question. Is it true spirituality is caught, not taught? As words are limited to mind and intellect, we are much more than that. In a way, yes, Lily, it is true that spirituality cannot be taught. It will be so boring and so offensive to some if you begin to teach them the spirituality. My experience of last 38 years with people is this: I can be a best of the orator and best of the kirtan singer and best of my music, and yet I might not change all those people who were listening into becoming a true seeker. They come, they listen, they enjoy, they applaud, and they go away back into that same rut from where they came. So surely it cannot be taught, but it is something which can be caught. Nice rhyming, taught and caught. And sometimes what? Taught, caught and what? Okay. Sometimes what happens is that you never got a chance to learn anything physically, but yet your heart is caught by the divinity. Like it happened to Kabir Sahib, it happened to Guru Nanak Sahib, it happened to Saizobai, it happened to Rajab, it happened to Kabir Das Sahib. No external teachings are happening, and yet they were caught. Their hearts and minds were caught into the spirituality, and they became the great, giant masters in their field. But yes, once the heart and mind is caught by the master, then master might use some words, because it's a very intriguing and very complex and little complicated thing, because your mind is such intricate, complicated, confused. So the master has to use some words also. This won't happen just without the words. Paras Bajaj: when I sit for sadhana, then due to outside noises like vehicles on road, birds chirping, horns, clock sounds, I am not able to become antarmukhi. Please advise. Also, should we sit with lights on or off, or lights on, or sometimes I feel some prakash on the forehead and not with the lights. Obviously, when the light is on, you are feeling the prakash of that bulb. There's nothing unusual in that. Birds have not done any harm to you. Why are you so angry on their chirping? Horns, these are people's vehicles, they are honking, let them do so. Why should that bother? A clock sound, my God. Poor clock is doing tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And if you had been a true meditator, then this tick tock is the best thing to focus on. You should have focused on that tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And if you had focused fully, totally, then this clock tick tock would have become a mantra for you and actually a meditation. Same goes for bird chirping, and same goes for the vehicles on the road. Zoom, ta, zoom, ta. It's just like, have you ever heard the Tibetan lamas doing the mantra? I don't know Tibetan language and I love Tibetan lamas, but sometimes whenever I have heard them in person, then they do. I'm just going to mimic it. It's not offensive. I love them and respect them. Please don't take it otherwise. You don't understand anything what they are speaking, but yet that sound where you don't understand anything, it brings a pause moment to the mind. And once I was in Dhamshala and visiting Karmapa, and once he came to my place in ashram, then I went to see him there, and then we had many meetings. And so in one of the meetings, the lamas were doing the mantra chanting. I don't understand a word. But yet when they were doing this, with the bell going on here and there, with the gong going here and there, it's beautiful, very mesmerizing. And why the hell we have to understand every word? And that mantra in a different and foreign language for my mind, actually if you listen to that, mind comes into a space where it's very spacious in the mind, meaning there won't be any thoughts left. So if we don't know how to sit quiet, then you might sit in the ashram and yet your mind will be running around. And if you know how to sit, if you know the correct approach for sitting into the dhyana, then you can do it with anything and everything, and nothing can be difficult. Or obviously you need to focus your own approach, and once you do that, Paris, you have a very beautiful name, so would be your mind then. Gaurav from Calgary, Canada. I have been practicing meditation for quite a while, but the thought frequency does not seem to decrease. A thought will come and I will be carried away by it for some time, only to be reminded and bring myself back after a few seconds. How can I tackle it? Gaurav, as you have written yourself about that, your mind hooks on with the thought and it goes away. My advice is, do not ever sit for meditation without doing 10-minute asanas and at least 15 minutes of pranayama. And in your case, I would suggest do the Kapalbhati Pranayama. And I don't know whether you have met me in person or not. Then please learn the correct way of Kapalbhati Pranayama. It's not your stomach which is going in and out, number one. Kapal means your forehead. Bhati means shining. So Kapalbhati means shining forehead. This means it has nothing to do with the stomach. Many people are sucking up their stomach in and doing that belly dance in name of Kapalbhati. Well, that is not Kapalbhati. So learn a right and proper way. Maybe in a few days, I'll ask my sannyasis to make one video where they teach right method of doing Kapalbhati, and then you learn it properly. So do Kapalbhati for at least 15 minutes. It will be hard, but if you learn it properly and do it properly, then even 10 minutes will do the magic. And after that, when you will sit down to do whatever method, then it will help to bring your mind into zone of calmness. Preeti Patel from United Kingdom. I am not one of your sincere disciple. I am not regular in any sadhana. Surely you can say you are not sincere at all. Okay. Anyhow, sometimes I do Om chanting, Yog Nidra, or listen to Amrit Varsha. From childhood, hearing from elders and sadhus that chanting Ram Nam is the best way to attain moksha. Please don't believe that. That's not true. In Kali Yuga, even though I don't want moksha, I always try to keep reciting God's name, but my mind keeps thinking about other stuff. When I think whatever I'm doing is not right, I feel guilty and down for some days, and I don't do anything. Then I start again. Please tell me what to do. Well, Preeti Patel, you are insincere. Then what's the use of me speaking anything? Because if you are not going to do it. Yeah. I was just talking to one of a psychotherapist who works in UK, in Leamington. She was saying that for 1 hour of her session which she gives to the patients, which the NH sends her to, because in COVID time everything is online. Initially she would meet the patient in person. So she said for one session I get almost £40, 1 hour session. So I was joking, dear Preeti, I was joking that you charge £40 for a session, and what Western psychiatry has taught her, she admits that doesn't help patients too much. And yet you are charging them, and maybe because they are paying you that much money, because there's all government system, so the person is not directly paying, but they pay the taxes, so the government is paying. Maybe that's why people listen to you when you talk. I don't charge. Maybe that's why people don't listen. And even after listening of years, they still write, I am insincere. And what you wrote, that the elders have said that if you chant Ram Nam in Kali Yuga, that's the best way to attain moksha. And here you were saying, I don't even want moksha. Then what do you want? Then how can I help? If you have no love for the path, then how will you walk on this path? Now this might sound very brutal. Well, that's the fact. So maybe Preeti, wait for that right time, that the fire of knowing, that I have to know. I have to understand. I would like you to wait until you have that. So I am not going to talk about what you should do now. Again, because why I am saying so? Because now I wish to see, until you become sincere, no advices, because maybe the free advices don't work at all. Money is not the question, you know it. I don't need your money. Money is nothing. Money is useless for me. But it's just more of putting this sense of responsibility in you. And if you really wish to learn something, the day you will write, I am a sincere student of yours. Maybe then I'll give answer to your question. Good luck for you until you reach to that point.